and I'm I'm wanting to talk a little bit about the practice of empathy and of merging, and specifically what I've been working on within myself is the I have two areas that I was told I need to work on healing within myself because there's an imbalance energy wise, and one is the solar plexus area and the other one is the heart area. And there are different reasons why I have these injuries to myself. But I'm working with singing bowls, which is absolutely fantastic because it feels like it's supposed to function this way immediately after, and it's really wonderful. I'm still very much learning, but this is the tone, and I just breathe from this area. The solar plexus is very much involved with will, and for doing the type of work of channeling, this is an important area to have a good, solid understanding. You are not being overridden by a spirit, you're being merged with and in harmony with. One of the practices that I believe we had in our former lifetime that I refer to as the water dragon incarnation or the Thuban story was that we had the practice of engaging in empathy development. This was something that the parents, when they came to us as spirits, talked to us about that we need to develop this. We were, as I understand it, very, very similar to people here, and we had our own culture and could be quite cruel and competitive with each other. And this is not the way forward, as we found out. And so we developed various different practices for developing compassion and empathy for one another, such as eye gazing, the idea of holding hands and looking into the eyes of another person until you feel that you have become that person. Your energies are together, and you really are that person. We're all just spirits, and we all have this beautiful light in us. The body form really doesn't matter very much. But we have to come to that understanding, and once it's not a mental thing, you have to know it from within yourself. You have to know this about yourself before you can know it about somebody else. But once you have started on this knowing and realize that there's nothing to fear, all the craziness the world tries to tell you about the judgment days and apocalypse and pole shift and trunkopolis and whatever the heck, it's not that that's just noise. What will happen will happen. We'll all be fine no matter what happens because there is no death. Everything's connected. All of matter is connected. It changes, it recycles, it changes again. We can see this in everything. I'm. This is very, very central to understanding. Anyway, as I've been seeking all week to try and understand my own connection with my spirit Ra, and we actually are the same person having two different experiences at the same time. So it's like, how the heck did I get both up here on the Earth's surface and down there in the in you know working place down there? Um, how did this happen? Well, it goes back to, I guess, who we are, and we incarnated as one being before, but then we had separate incarnations. And I think that a spirit is capable of doing this, but for some, it's natural to do this. Some they have multiples, and they're all together, and they can split off and have different experiences, but still be together. I think this is the way that a lot of people don't understand when they talk about the coming, the fear of the gray people coming from the sky and this sort of thing. The the one thing I can say, grays are not capitalists. They're not in harmony with capitalism. So of course, people want to tell you things that make them. Oh, are they the ultimate communists? I think that they have a perfected form that is beyond an external governing form. It's a perfected form of inner togetherness, and where everything is shared, everything, all knowledge, all access, everything. And it's really beautiful. I think that's the next level that we have to get to. So going back to the practice of empathy development, this was really a turning point for us in that lifetime. And I think that it's something that I have to practice, and it helps for me to practice this with others, even if I don't, do the formal hold their hands and do this sort of thing. Just carrying the person's spirit next to you and wishing them positive, and knowing that we're connected, and if I can share my energy with you, I will. And it's nobody's infringing upon anybody. There's nothing terrible going on. It's we're connecting the way that we're actually supposed to be connecting, because as spirits, light is attracted to light, and so we um, we tend to attract each other of like nature. And this is very important, very, very important for moving forward, is that we don't have this competitive fear and this need to dominate one another. We have no need to dominate each other in the next higher form. We can quite simply be and together, or we make a decision and we all travel together, or we don't travel together. Collectively is much preferable. If we think of the source being as infinite source, who is one but who's everything, it's not really a proper designation to say one. Everything, I don't know what the word for that is, but we shall have to find it. Um, this is the true nature of how we're supposed to live with each other and with ourselves, is in a state of sharing and cohabitating. If we think about, someone had a meme on the internet. Meme. I always call them memes for some. Anyway. It said that the Earth is a shithole planet, and I don't want to come back here. And okay, no, it's not a shithole planet. I'm sorry. Trumpocalypse or not, that's a horrible way to describe. This is matter. There's no such thing as this is good, this is bad, this is throwaway, this is to keep, this is of value, this is rubbish. It's all together. It's all necessary. It's so why is this so hard for the Western mind to comprehend? Um, I don't know. It has to suspend judgment, and I certainly have my challenges with judgment and that sort of thing, like anyone else. Uh, but it's the way forward. I know that is to lose this competitive, fear-driven animal behavior towards each other. Um, I don't think it has to be. It, I don't think that it's possible to go very far as an individual. You want to retain your individuality to a point, because that's your identity, what we understand and recognize within ourselves as our identity. But who your identity really is actually the source of everything. And this is the identity of everyone. And it's a really beautiful thing when I find myself in a rare position to happen to be tuned in and centered enough that I can sense that everyone is connected, and not judge people. Well, I think they're thinking this or that, but we're all connected, regardless of what you're thinking and regardless of what I think that you're thinking about. So this is my thoughts of the week, and I don't have to do a formal channeling, because Ra came through very strongly at a certain point and went back, and I took over, and so I don't feel the need to, I'm going to go into a trance and see the orange light and do this sort of thing. I'm learning how to be much more fluid with all of this, and it's wonderful, really. And I encourage everyone to practice your gift. It's unique, and don't be afraid, and keep going, because it doesn't get better unless you continue, and then it gets better. Everything else kind of, it goes into the background after a certain point, and what's important remains. Thank you for listening.